All right, I'm going to go on with a little bit more political BS here. Systemic racism is a lie. Critical race theory is the suicide note of Western civilization. We have allowed these people to rewrite history. Not only rewrite history, but just create words out of thin air to mean things. Like privilege. Most of these people will never know the privilege of having to eat pinto bean soup, twice a day, every day, for most of their young life. And I was happy to have it because I didn't know any better. Because these people didn't grow up in Appalachia. They don't know what it's like to live in a household where you have to carry water up because there is no running water. They don't understand what it's like to use the bathroom in an outhouse because that's what you have. Because you live in the mountains in a region of this country that has been economically abandoned since America was founded. And maybe for reasons, maybe the people there don't want to be bothered. Who could blame them? But yeah, so tell me, while you're walking around with your $1,000 cell phone, driving your hoopty around, tell me about privilege. When there's still poor kids in Appalachia, that have nothing. Nothing. Families, there are parts of Eastern Kentucky where the median income is $10,000 a year. Right? 10,000 a year. And these parts are overwhelmingly white. Overwhelmingly. Why aren't they rioting in the streets? You don't see white people freaking out every time a cop shoots some meth dealer. Most white people are like, well, good, he deserved it. Guy's a meth head. He was running around. Right? No, you don't see that. At this point, people are literally rioting over justified shootings of felons and career criminals. People literally were burning their own city down because an accused rapist got shot. Yeah, let that sink in. I'm sure the white supremacists are probably laughing their asses off, pointing at the TV. Every bad thing they ever, were told or believed about minorities, well, they can look at the TV and see it now, can't they? It's not like I have an answer to any of this. I don't. Like I said, it's 2:30. I'm ranting. I'm a little sad. Not feeling good. Not feeling good at all. Being confronted face to face with so much hate. And it didn't make me want to understand. It didn't make me want to understand their problems. It didn't make me want to learn more. It didn't make me somehow develop empathy. It had the opposite effect. Like this person, I don't care about them. I don't wish any good on them. Any chance of ever making any sort of mutual, compromise at all is done. And that goes for the rioters too. When you're running around destroying storefronts and telling me, like I should be on your side. Why? You act in this way. and I should be on your side. What are you thinking? Holding signs, stop white supremacy, which means everyone who's white. You listen to these people. If you're not literally on your knees kissing their ass, you're racist. Somebody's trying to sell me followers. Seems like cheating, though. So I'm sorry, man. I'd rather have 0 followers than have to buy them. I do hope your business works out. I mean, I wish you the best. I hope you find tons of people who want to give you money for followers. I really do, but it's not me. To be perfectly honest, this channel is more about my own self therapy than anything. Being trapped in the house, dealing with PTSD and clinical depression, major anxiety. Just trying to learn, stuff. I'm used to people liking me. The tones go off, you show up on scene, regardless of what it is. 99% of the time, they're always happy to see you. You're there in your big boots, your turnout gear, and I miss that. Jeez, I miss that. Then you're watching some guy that you like to talk about Warhammer with, and somebody tells you because of how you're born, you're just an evil bastard, Never mind the fact that you've rushed into literally a fully involved structure to save people, or you and your partner saved a baby that was choking to death because the young parents overfed it. That doesn't matter. You saved grandma from her 8th heart attack. You worked a dozen codes in freaking a month. Pulled people out of cars, gave them their glucose because they're not maintaining their blood sugar correctly and they're diabetic. 15 calls a day, helping people. None of it matters because I'm white. And I'm straight. I like women, specifically women with big boobs and big butts. I cannot lie. I like big butts. And I'm wondering how many other guys are out there. And for me, see, it's not that big of a deal because I can just get angry and be like, to hell with these people. To hell with them. They can all fry. I don't care. If the boogaloo happens, man, sorry about your luck. I mean, you've already drawn the lines. You've already said what team I'm on. I have no choice. You've already said what team I have to be on, right? Because of that. Right there. I mean, I have black relatives, but it doesn't matter. Because when your trans self saw me, you automatically said a thing. And now I'm supposed to bow down to you. No. I honestly think at this point in the United States, and maybe the entire world, people like me should stop bowing. Maybe they should bow. It seems like they don't understand that they only have it as good as they do because we allow it. We're the majority. Every single right that a minority person has in this country was given to them. They didn't fight for any of them. They didn't earn them. They didn't buy them. They were gifts. Right? And people will be like, oh, so you think you should be, you think you should be applauded for treating other human beings like human beings. Well, based on world history, yes. Yes, we should. There's a lot of countries on this planet right now that don't. The sickness is only a Western thing. You think the Chinese people sit around all day wondering about how they've offended somebody? Nope, they don't. No other group of people on the entire planet sits around worrying about how their ancestors treated some other group. And the slave trade to the Persian Empire and the Ottoman Empire and all that makes the transatlantic slave trade look like a friggin' lemonade stand in volume. They're the over 1 billion served heading east, not west. Of course, they castrated all of their male slaves, so they didn't have to worry about population issue. They just kept castrating the males. And have you ever heard any of them apologize? Any one of those countries? Have you ever heard Iraq, Iran, any of the countries that used to be part of the Persian Empire or the Ottoman Empire? Have you ever heard any of them apologize for African slavery? Have you ever heard anybody demand them apologize for African slavery? I haven't. As a matter of fact, here in America, they aligned themselves with the cult of the oppressed against the people who were good enough to let them into the country. As if just anyone from any place on this whole planet is somehow entitled to come here. Right? Like you wake up one day in the middle of Basra and it's like, well, I think I'm going to America, and if you don't let me, you're an evil person. How's that work? Right? Painting another world figure, working on his shield. Just a fighter in plate now. You know, these figures remind me of my childhood when we played games and you didn't have to worry about genders or racism. It was okay that orcs were evil. No one thought anything of it. Not even the black kids that I hung out with did. I mean, orcs aren't human. So, drow are evil. Now that's apparently not allowed, even though there's an actual in-lore explanation for why they worship a demon for the most part, and there's some kind of way they were bound and cursed by Corallan Lorathian, if I pronounce that right. But you're not even allowed. I mean, Dorn Yellow. When I paint yellow, I like to start with Dorn Yellow as a base, and it's great for edging, which is what this is made for. But I like to use it as kind of a base coat to work off of. Yeah. It's just weird to see people so willing to just abandon themselves. Just, you know, and not in every sphere, politics, cultural, games. Some aggrieved class starts ranting and raving about something, and then the majority, the people who buy the product, actually play the game and support the company. Just immediately kowtow. You know, there's not enough LGBT people in Waterdeep, so we're going to make sure that we do that. There's not enough, or orcs should be good now. So now we have to do that. Let's create a magic wheelchair. I mean, why not? It's a fantasy game. In a fantasy game, why wouldn't you choose to be, less than perfect, right? I say that half jokingly. Yeah, I mean, characters who were flawed, very flawed. Alcoholics, drug addicts. That's actually when I used to play vampire and that sort of thing. One of my favorite flaws to take was substance abuse. Even though I've been straight edge my entire life for the most part, never done any illicit drugs. Though I have had a drink on occasion, but not in a very long time. But if you ever see me out and you heard all this and it didn't make you immediately want to punch my face, which I wouldn't recommend because it's not going to work out well for you. I'm not one of these guys that's going to curl up in fetal position. I'll bite. Anyway, I won't even get into that. But if you do ever see me out at a game con or something, you happen to see me at Gen Con, I go to that. Well, not this year, but I prefer vodka in glass with no ice, but very cold. If you're going to buy me something made out of wheat, I like a Guinness. Not opposed to a good Guinness, Now, when I drink beer around the house, which isn't often at all, but when I do, I go with Yingling. Mainly because I like the fact that it's made in America. And it's pretty cheap. And there's something to be said for that, too. Remember, kiddos, you save a bunch of money buying Czech soda colas, right? And some people might be like, "Oh, look at this guy, he's buying Czech cola." Well, first off, it was 4 12 packs for $4. So that's 48 drinks. And this is fruit punch, which is good. I like it. But 48 sodas for $4. It's like what, a less than a dime a piece. You do that, drink your Czech sodas, you Czech cola, you Czech fruit punch, you save your money. When you consider that a 20-ounce Coke is like $1.79 now, right? So you save that money, and you know what you can do? Buy a lot of these. It's about priorities, or maybe you don't want to buy a lot of these. Keep buying those Czech colas, you keep saving that money. That new Scar S1 in 762. It's only a couple months away, man. You'd be surprised. Right? You want a new rifle? I don't know if this is bannable to talk about. No, I don't think so, but you're thinking, hey, I'd like to get myself an AK and 5.45 by 39. Why not, right? Well, stop wasting your money on soda and stupid crap like that, buying all that stuff. Stop blowing your money on that. Save up. Just take all that soda money and throw it aside, man. Drink some Czech cola or something. A couple of months, go out and buy that freaking, that Arsenal rifle or that new 40K army. So I'm feeling a little bit better because I ranted about that evil person. Yeah, that's what I do, man. I saved money. I own 7 sets of these. 7 or 8, actually. Different colors, though. Well, black pants, but different colored shirts. They're cheap. They're very comfortable. I have matching shoes, black with white stripes. And then with all that money I saved, buy a bunch of these goblins, man. Buy a new rifle. Something goes bad around the house, buy a new fridge. Fridge broke, buy a new one. First, I worked on it and tried to fix it. I changed out the fan, changed out the thermostat, did everything like that. But, because I wasn't going to just give it up without a fight. But it was 15-year-old refrig. It had done its duty. And now we got a better one. Learn how to change your oil, man. Go change your oil. It's not hard. It's cheap. It's damn near dirt cheap almost. So you change your oil. Take all that money, put it in savings, maybe get a little bit of retirement. I do. I donate to my IRA every year. Probably could donate more, but I feel like it's my responsibility to keep the costume of comics in business. So there is that. Well, to my person watching, thanks for listening. All the people on my YouTube channel, they're going to see this, and I have many more followers on YouTube. Hope you don't hate me, but if you do, I don't give a shit. Too old to apologize anymore. Every time I walk out my front door, that seems to be what is expected. There was a war. My side won. Why should I apologize? It'd be like your favorite sports team beating another team, and then I'm like, hey, sorry. I don't know if you're a football fan. I'm not really a football fan. I'm more of a hockey fan, but linebacker or whatever takes out the quarterback, smokes his butt, sacks him, gets the ball, runs in for a touchdown, then runs back and says, hey, sorry about that. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I exploited an opportunity to score, a resource. 1,000 years ago, some people did that. I'm so sorry. I am just so sorry. You can tell if you look at me, right? No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. And I refuse to be. And I think more people should be that way. I think when these people come screaming at you about, 300 years of slavery. Well, what about the 2,000 years of slavery before that? I mean, slavery was only bad in North America, apparently. Anyway, I'm getting going again. I need to have some ice water. Calm down. On a good note, I watched Color from Outer Space or whatever, The Color Out of Space. The Nicolas Cage movie based on the Lovecraft story. And I liked it. Definitely, I'll give both thumbs. I mean, it's kind of a weird metric for judging the movie, but I liked it. I watched it. I liked it. My wife was like, oh my God, it's so depressing. This is what she doesn't like Lovecraft at all. So That's fine. It was good. If you haven't seen it, especially if you like Lovecraft. Of course, they changed a bunch of stuff, but it was good. And that said, I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to come back tomorrow. We're going to be on a positive note. I've got a bunch of stuff to get done. Like this guy right here. I don't know if you can see, I've already started carving the bricks into the back. I probably should have done it before I glued it all together. Then it's going to get a nice thick coat of wood glue, Gorilla Glue, mixed with black paint. This thing is going to get completely coated and a nice hard shell. And when that 100% completely dries, I might get crazy and use a little wood filler and fill in any divots and seams. You know, I have some wood filler out there. I have some putty. And when that's nice and hard and just freaking whatever, I might, depending on how tough it is, I might hit it up again. Get a really good shell on that thing, right? Then, oh, my weasel's up. Squeezel! Squeeze! Oh, I see you're looking. Hey, baby boy. How's my baby boy? I need to take you out tomorrow. See, I need to take you out tomorrow. You need to go running. It's been a day. He's feeling playful tonight, but get a nice hard shell on this thing, right? Then dry brush it with gray so that the goal is it's going to look, and I may put a cross piece here or there and cut like an archway in it and carve it out so that it looks like a stone archway, you know. And I might carve something in the back too. So the goal is when it's all painted out, it might look like levels in a dungeon or a tower. I could get crazy and put a staircase down, you know, something like that. Then I will use it as a display for some of my multitude. That is an otherworld hobgoblin. But I'll use that as a display for my hobgoblins and my orcs and goblins and whatever. I actually finished a figure today, and that's always a good thing. I'm calling him done. He's not going to win any competitions, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see him, but that is an Otherworld Miniatures old school goblin boss. He is a big chungus of a goblin. He's actually on a 25mm base. Most of my goblins, gnomes, halflings, and whatever go on a 20mm base, but big chungus wouldn't fit on a, you know. So Chief Chungus, in game terms, he would actually be a 1 or 2 hit die creature. So first level party might need to worry about that guy. You know, you got goblin with a 15 or 16 strength. It's a big ass goblin with a great axe. I mean, he could actually pose a threat. So there's that. So yeah, I have that to work on. I still have literally a box of Indomitus, Space Marines, and Necrons to build. And of course, because this is how I am, I can never finish any one thing. I had to start with Battletech figures. These I printed on my Mars Elegoo printer. I know it said I was going to be talking politics and war, but yeah, these I printed on the Mars Elegoo. And they come out really good. These are Mech Warrior Online sculpts. I would and do absolutely buy Battletech figures. I bought 3 of the Battletech box sets that come out a couple years ago, and I bought 2 of the starter sets, mainly because I love the Griffin. It's my favorite 55-ton mech in 3025. So I do support the company, but on the other hand, I also like the Mech Warrior online mech sculpts and for whatever reason, they don't make them. But the new plastics that they have put out are very cool, and I do love them. I love that Thunderbolt. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done for all this. So I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back every day. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, something bad could happen, but unless something really bad happens, I'll be back. So if you see this later on my YouTube channel, um, I'm not asking for anything. You can yell at me if you want. But if I said something super egregious, go ahead and explain yourself in the comments or block me. Either is good with me. And that is all.